All right, so it's Monday. Let's get into it. So last Friday price dropped like million points. Um, Price basically gaps lower, and now we're in a daily fair value gap that you can see in here. So so you like to I like to measure these kind of larger fair value gaps, with quadrants, so 0.25, 0.5, 0.75 levels. So there we can kind of identify in which level price is willing to react out of, because in lower time frame PDRAs I don't really care, but high time frame PDRA, daily fair value gap, for example, in this case, it's very good to measure these larger general areas with this type of measurement. All right. So what I'm thinking right now in here is that the high time frame is bearish still. All right, we are in an area where market swept important, what's that, weekly low. All right, so that's large, very large liquidity pool. Now, possibility of us reacting out of this is there. Hence, I'm thinking that we are going to have maybe at the start of the week a little bit of a retracement like that, and then maybe like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday reversal lower back again, moving for the lows. And because market is heavily bearish, we are continuing to drop. And whether we are bearish or bullish, I'm in either of those cases. I'm bullish today, not in higher time frame bullish, lower time frame bullish, because we got a couple of things here. Market reacting out of this, sell side swept, and actually fairly important thing is this new week opening gap. This is actually like very significant for me, because let me just, because we gap lower, and this is indicating that there is a chance that market wants to go for the high, for the new week opening gap here. And we got like large 4-hour imbalance here, so it's totally 100% possible that market wants to put on some type of retracement here and either reject lower out of this new opening gap like that, or then we're just going to have a little bit of a chop today, and maybe have like Tuesday putting on like massive reversal from that 4-hour gap. That could easily happen. So keeping these things in my mind. I'm definitely not trying to catch any shorts today. It might sound a little bit crazy considering the fact that we have been so bearish, but overall, in my opinion, when you take all of these things into account, like, shorts are just not in the consideration right now. All right, so overall short, overall bearish, overall I want to go short. So let's say if I was a trader who only wants to take the high time frame buys, I would just say that, all right, I'm not going to trade Monday, and I'm just hoping that Monday will do what I want to see, so that I can maybe catch shorts somewhere in this region here. It would be totally fine for a market to see a rejection out of that as well, but market likes to gyrate around new opening gaps, so this could be very good where we trade above it. Then we have an opportunity to trade back into it, maybe have a little bit consolidation, then we can melt below it, use it again, and then drop. Market likes to do this type of thing. So, all right, let's see new day opening gaps as well. I don't have that on for some reason. So the thing in here is that market likes to also gravitate towards these kind of stacked congested areas of new day, new week opening gaps. So in this case, what would that mean? We got a large amount of these gaps here. So that's giving me, that doesn't have to mean anything, but there is a chance that market could want to retrace all the way up here. Now, I'm not expecting that to happen though. Let's say I'm going long today. I'm simply just trying to see if we can catch any type of short-term high buy side above here, and mainly these two 4-hour highs are really the only ones that I'm interested in. All right. So not much else here. I have the bias formed, so I can move to lower time frames, see how price is moving. So 1 minute ago we opened. So in this case, we open. I would want this to see market sweeping that low, maybe putting on like a SMT, and then we can put on like a shift higher. We got some liquidity above here, maybe like reaction out of that 0.75 level. That is fairly good. All right, so we're putting on bearish candle immediately right now. And if the case is that we just continue dropping like this, in that case, unfortunately, there's no trade for me because I'm not capable in executing this far in discount. I'm just gonna tell you that immediately here. Although if we put on like proper amount of 1 minute structure, maybe there is a chance I will manage to take some type of entry, but most likely I will have to, I will have to consider not taking any trades. But all right, looking at ES, it's kind of interesting because ES is far behind NQ. Now, if it just continue accelerating, it doesn't take necessarily much to take out the low here, but as far as I'm concerned, we are currently having SMT here, so I would prefer rejection out of the low now. That could be like a nice turtle soup. And again, it doesn't really matter if I'm incorrect and market just, because okay, I want to go long, but it doesn't really matter if I'm incorrect and market just continues melting. And here's why. It's because if market just continues melting, I'm just then not going to have any trades. So I'm just following my plan and not taking a trade. It's win-win because I don't. All right, I'm not making any money, but nor am I losing anything. So it's not really that big of a deal if you are incorrect with your bias. If you know how to manage your trade in a way that you're trading in a way that you are not executing at all in those days. Now sometimes you are incorrect and with your bias, and you're trying to take a setup that you think is there, and then it doesn't work, but it's fun. But right now we are seeing a little bit too many massive candles to the downside, which I don't necessarily like, so we will have to kind of use heavy discretion here if actually going long is the right decision. And I don't necessarily think it is the right decision anymore if we just continue dropping massively. Yes, it's still yet to take. Oh, we took that. All right. So this type of melt is starting to suggest that the market is not willing to give any type of bullishness here. Like to my experience, when we see drop like this immediately, market is going to put on like a retracement like that and then continue melting. Or conversely, if we are going to see trade higher, then we would need to start having we would need to see like quite soon, like almost like now, like proper push higher, like with large volume. So like a little bit of a chop doesn't work. In that case, we are probably just going to continue dropping. And if market wants to have enough volume and push for the highs here, market would need to put on like big candle around now. All right. Hmm. All right, so we'll see what happens now. Surely if I would choose some general trading days when price action could have a little bit higher likelihood of being choppy or not as good, I would say it's no news Monday, which we are trading currently in, and then obviously like days before CPI and FP. Everyone knows those days, and but this type of no news Monday is not as generally avoided as like NFP Thursday, so that's why I kind of said that. Looks like we are just going to continue lower, which I would want to participate into, but I don't know. Maybe this is just like this is just probably a environment where I'm not thriving. Like, and not every single trader has to like thrive in similar circumstances. Like when price moves heavily to one direction, I just don't thrive usually. But to my understanding, how price action likes to work, you know, I could be wrong as a stupid person, but we got some equalizer, we got the new week opening gap, we got the idea of market expanding lower, but I would still prefer to see Monday maybe accumulating a little bit, meaning that maybe it wants to sweep some buy side, and then we could see a little bit more like a bigger drop coming to the end of the week. And so, which is the reason why I'm having the bullish bias. Like, let's say if market was trading already somewhere in here this Monday, when market opens 9:30 and we are trading above here, I would definitely just go for shorts. I would never take longs at all. But when we excuse me, when we opened so far down here, and we got the liquidity, we got the new week opening gap, we got the 4 hour imbalance. Sorry, we got the daily imbalance here, from which we are reacting out of, or we could possibly react out of. There's just no way I'm capable of thinking of shorts. All right, we're clearly just going to drop here. Usually, if you are going to see, or if you want to see like a proper move higher, we would probably put on like SMT with that, or we would have a reaction out of that. But we are just putting massive Ferrari gap there. Market is clearly just willing to continue dropping, which I'm not gonna. I mean, I could participate. We will need to have, or I will require some sort of retracement, which could mean like retracement above this high here. Maybe I'm going to try like a little step to go short from this Ferrari gap, which would mean that I'm not trying to risk as much, because I understand that there's a risk of this type of retracement happening and then drop, which that would liquidate me out of the trade if I got in. So that's the reason why that if I go for a trade looking at something like this, I wouldn't really go with large position size. So just understand that you can lose that trade and still market could still go to your favor, which is problematic if you are risking a lot of money. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm opening my my trading software. All right. So we are right now in this gap from which I could sell, but yeah. All right, I'm in short. So I'll be totally transparent what I did. So I I have basically two accounts on Godfather Trader. Basically the second account that I'm willing to risk a little bit more recklessly. I took the trade in that one, and I didn't even risk very large amount here. And by the way, I don't like the fact how we are just stalling in here. Like absolutely perfect setups. They would tap in and leave quite fastly. But because we got actually fairly good chance, or how I would say this is that, well, the risk to reward is very good. So that's the reason why I want to be why I want to participate into this trade at least in some way. So it's not my main account. I'm not risking large amount anyway, but I'm doing something with this. So now I need to define some proper targets here. So we got low in here. Major lows are these ones. So like let's mark these as sell side. These are the daily lows as well. So if market comes up here, I will possibly try to see if we can shift back lower and take another short. So and by the way, if this inverses, if the gap here inverses, I'm out of the trade as well. So couple of things here. It's 8 seconds. Let's see if it inverses. All right, didn't close above C, which is not nice, but it is what it is. First percentage fair value gap on ES is here. And with NQ, it's super annoying that we are kind of stalling in here. That's not ever necessarily good. And by the way, I don't like the fact how we have first percentage fair value gap here. That's probably going to get traded into. That's happening so often. All right. Trade close with that close above. So that's IFVG, and I close the setup. So this could be inverse as a long idea to the first fair value gap. That's a chance to go for actually. So again, didn't work as a short here. this is a fine trade. The first presented fair value gap. If market comes back to that fair value gap, I will take the setup here with my main account. Here I will take this, and what I'll do is go break even at the first fair value gap or at that high here. Alright, so I'm in a trade here. Today, it's been a little bit interesting. And by the way, I didn't really take the trade because of the fair value gap here. It's kind of small, doesn't really matter. More like so that coming to the market open, I was kind of thinking we would like to go there. Now, I'm not thinking that anymore. The first fair value gap is more so being the target here. And the fact that we inverse this, I'm seeing enough confluences to actually support some sort of long idea here. Which again, we don't have to target the external here. Like things like BE at this high. And major TPs hit at this first fair value gap could be just like proper risk management plan here. We don't have to do much here, nor should I, because so far I'm not liking necessarily what I'm seeing. Market is moving a little bit slowly to the upside, so that's about it pretty much. So that's, well, this is defined that I'm in long here because, alright, I can go break even here and I can take like 50% off at the first fair value gap, but if, and this big if, but if market ends up actually accelerating higher, I can actually leave runners and they could run. So, this is the trade of the day. The short was maybe a little bit too opportunistic, if you know what I'm saying. Like, yeah. But now we're pushing higher. That should be break even. Although I'm not gonna move totally break even. I'm going to move my stop below this low because this low shouldn't be broken. Pretty much. So that's like 0.1% loss if that gets hit. But I do like this price action right now. It's moving a little bit slow, but well, looking at ES, I do like how we're a little bit even more bullish. ES could have enough pace to move higher, which could also be supporting the idea of longs with NQ, and that's a good thing to notice. We inverse this first fair value gap here on ES. So let's hope to see some type of six sister thing here where NQ is initially behind ES, but then it kind of catches up, if you know what I'm saying. If you don't know what six sister is, you can go watch some ICT content on YouTube. That's fairly easy to find stuff. So really, if you are really bearish, this could be a point of reversal, which is the reason why I move my stop here. But really, looking at the ES, I do like like the idea of going further high up here. So having to endure a little bit of a slow price action, sometimes it would be nicer to be in a trade that moved this fast rather than, because for example here this is really the first fair value gap that we printed. And one thing, this is very valuable if you don't know this, if market prints a fair value gap on top of like a high like this, that's usually, not always, but often that's sign of the fact that we are maybe going to continue from that fair value gap higher, meaning that certain fair value gap is going to hold. In which case, this is the target for me right now. Actually, I'm not going to have my stop loss there. Sorry, TP there. I will just close manually 50% of the trade above there. If market is to move there, all right. The reason why I'm more and more bullish is because ES puts things like breaker here on top of this first fair value gap that got inversed. So we're having high likelihood of market willing to long, in my opinion at least. This could be like some type of SMT as well. Although we are not necessarily having SMT, even though ES is much higher, so. But I literally have no like stress in the game right now. Like we could end up smashing lower, and I wouldn't care because the risk in the trade isn't that big anymore. And I'm seeing enough confluence to go long that I do feel very comfortable with this. So whatever market does, it's fine by me. All right, excellent reaction out of the gap here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit tempted to add on the position, but I don't really know if it's like a good plan to add on a position like this. Good work. That's our block here. So, not necessarily a bad idea, but I'm just gonna do what I can here and hold the position that I'm having. All right, so let's just see quickly on ES. So I'm going to take the profits when ES takes the high here, but I think NQ has also potential to move higher, so I'm not going to take the profits at this first fair value gap. And to be honest, if I had large position size, I would do that, but unfortunately, I don't have very large position size, so I'm just waiting to see more up movement. I don't really mind of losing a little bit of profits here, like smaller position size. I'm like a little bit short of 1% up, so that's it basically. Well, the thing is that the NQ is ES is almost taken that high, so. Alright, so I changed my mind. I closed 1/3 of the position at that CE of first fair value gap, and the rest of the position I will try to hold and have my break-even stops here on place. So again, I have my stops currently here. I will now move them. I'll move the stop at that low, or not low, but well below this low. Not quite at that low, because market could do something like this and move, and then I don't really care about this kind of spread here. This is a good sign of further longs because creating equal highs means that we could see maybe even like a large display, retracement, but then we are going to probably have the next leg back to the highs. So that could even invite new long new people going long if they understand how market works with these equal highs. And by the way, if NQ inverses this, there's a chance that I will try to take a long from the region to then target everything above here. So there's definitely a chance of that happening. Alright, finally we are starting to get some pace. Let's see if we can, or if we have a potential to flip this, inverse the fair value gap here. I'm thinking that or I don't know, it's looking good. For the inverse here. Okay, now that we have inversed this, I literally just want us to pick some pace here. Although there is a chance that I'm going to take profits here. Alright, I took another partial here. Because, you know, ES is far higher than NQ. And I want to, even though my position was small, we are starting to move very nicely. And at this point in time, I'm still like around 2R up. So, well, what I'm trying to say here is that I'm content with the profits that I was able to make there. So I wanted to take partial out there. And, I'm giving market a chance to now drive higher a little bit quicker. This could be your silver bullet, or technically the silver bullet was this 10 a.m. here. But now that we have inversed this, I'm positive that we're going to drive for the high here. But understanding the fact that ES already took that, this is an SMT, and I don't want to be a part of any type of job or anything of that matter. So that's the reason why I wanted to manage the trade in a way that I did. So I'm comfortable with this. All right, there's kind of two scenarios that could happen here. Either market is just going to gyrate around and probably stop me out at break even with the rest of the position, or if we inverse this gap here, I will try to add to the position to then go for longs. So that's kind of the two things that I'm thinking of in here. Well, there's a small margin between my break-even stop and the 5-minute fair value gap. So let's see. This is really the last point of reversal that we could have, but realistically, looking at the time, it's almost 10 10:30. Are we going to have enough volume to drive higher? Not necessarily very quickly. We could kind of have a volume to drive higher, yeah, but it would have to be like a little bit of a chop, and you know, I don't really care about that anymore. Like, this is really the last point of reversal here. As in, if market wants to seek some sell side before moving back higher, this would have to be the point where the reversal happens. And that's why my stop here is just fine here. With ES, we got the SMT here, so that's not a good thing in terms of longs, but yeah, I think I managed this very well. I took uh, 2/3 here on average fill probably at around here, so there's really no problem with anything. The price action today hasn't been that good at the end of the day, so making fine amount of money regardless is just good to be able to do that, you know what I'm saying. All right, break even hit. I'm going to end the day here. I don't really see how we are going to recover, or I would say I don't know how we would have enough volume to drive back higher in this AM session, and so maybe PM session is going to give some type of setup. But as far as I'm concerned, we didn't really move much um in the AM session. Now I was able to catch this type of long due to this kind of bias that we would drive above here. But one reason why I was confident in taking the long here is because I knew that even if my bias was incorrect, that market didn't want to go above these highs, the likelihood of market driving for this first fair value gap was so like paramount that the setup was absolutely great to take here at the lows, and I really executed here. But the best fill would have been that inverse here. That would have been absolutely great. Much better, but anyhow, I'll see you tomorrow, and peace.